This episode of the Boss Rush Podcast is brought to you by, well, you. If you want to support the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts, head on over to our Patreon at patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. Thanks for your continued support. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Rush Podcast, a great place to play games and be better. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me for the first official recording of 2024 is the mad pharmacist herself, Stephanie Klimov.
Well, guess who's back? Oh, that's all energy I have.
No, we need 2024 energy. Okay, everybody needs some energy. I got mine. I got 2 of mine, so we're good.
Yes, I missed you guys.
Oh, man.
Even though we text every day.
I know. It's good to be back. Also here is the PC muscle race himself, LeRon Dawkins.
Do I bring in 24 by saying it?
Yes.
What's poppin', everyone? Hey.
Hi, LeRon.
Hey, Corey.
How's it going?
Hey, everyone. All right, I'm happy to be back with you guys. I am. I've missed you guys. It's been a long 3 weeks.
Hey, LeRon, I have a surprise for you. And by surprise, I mean not really a surprise, but kind of a surprise. There's a hot pink After Dark shirt available on the store right now. And by right now, I mean by the time
Nice.
it posts on Monday.
Will there be a hot pink tank top for After Dark?
I don't know. I don't know how T-Public works.
Come on now. Come on.
Maybe.
Come on.
It's a
You're
hot
such
maybe.
tease. You're
It's a
such
hot
a tease.
Speaking of hot maybes, PK Power Pat Klein is also here.
Hello.
Yes, see, that's the voice of a hot maybe.
Mhm. Yeah, I'm just thinking, you know what? With my shaved head and my beard, kind of looking like Kratos.
Mm.
Yes,
Boy.
you look just like Kratos.
Mhm.
You just need some red face paint, and you're good to go. How's everyone doing? How's everybody's break? You know what, LeRon, I'm going your way first. How was your break?
I did not get enough rest for my break. I'll say that for sure. Like I'm starting to really rethink the holiday season. You know, like it's what's the saying? Please me or I'll please myself. Like it's not pleasing me, so I'm gonna have to start pleasing myself.
Mm.
Like the past few holidays, I just don't seem to get any rest, and I'm guaranteeing everybody's saying like, look at this guy bitching. But I mean, I'm a person. I'm kind of a workaholic. I think most of us on this podcast are workaholics. Like we basically do our work. Like I don't ever take any time off. So like when I take time off like that, and especially travel, I want to try and rest, but I don't get any rest, and it's starting to make me angry. But I did have a wonderful holiday though. Like I had chances. You know, I went home, saw family. Surprised my mom with a whole bunch of like Christmassy presents and all that jazz and stuff, and saw like a lot of extended family and things like. So there was that. But you know, like I got home, but when I came back to Virginia, every time it was after working hours, I went to bed. And that's how I knew I was exhausted. I was emotionally and physically exhausted.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you look rested. You look great.
Oh, I'm just faking until I make it.
Story of my life. Stephanie, how was your break?
You know, I gotta say it was good. Like I'm knocking on wood because usually when things go well for me, I get very suspicious because things never go well. Because Christmas was drama free. It was calm and quiet. And when I mean drama free, like for example, like my parents attended the Christmas Eve activity with the larger family, which they haven't been. So it's like a lot of like, wow, things really fell into place and were nice. So I'll take it for what it is, because that'll probably never happen again. And then New Year's I worked, because I work for in the health insurance space, just to be vague.
You
So
work for them. You work for the man.
I do work for the man, not the biggest man. That's pharma, but I do work for the man, and it stinks. Love my boss, love my team. Just but because a lot of health insurances renew on 1/1, I had to work on 1/1, which is not a big deal because I'm not a huge New Year's partier fan. Like, yeah, woohoo, resolutions and all that crap, but it's fine. So break was good. I got a lot of gaming done. I enjoyed time with family, and here I am. So yeah, thank you.
You actually played games on your holiday?
I did. It was shocking. I mean, part of it was because my partner was literally sick for 3 weeks. So instead of my night spending time with him, I magically had these free nights where I could play video games. I'm like, whoa, I can game now.
I'm so fracking jealous. I didn't get to spend any time playing games, and I took my ROG Ally and my Switch with me.
I almost pulled the trigger on a ROG Ally over the break, but I did not. I was good.
You're flirting with temptation there, my friend.
I am. Speaking of temptation, how was your break, Pat?
My break was full of video games and, it's occasional rest, but mostly video games. Because I also don't have a partner that, I don't have a partner, so no need to worry about them getting sick for 3 weeks. So I played video games. I got 6 video games done. And if the break was 1 week, like if I had one more week in 2023, I would have had 50 games done. Nice. Sadly, that did not happen.
Nice.
Other than that, I've been playing with my cat, just making online purchases like a new bedspread. And, I bought a Lego set. I bought 2 Lego sets. And I wanted to see how Zelda would react with the Legos, and it pretty much was exactly as I predicted it. She was an asshole.
Knocked everything down.
Oh, she wanted those pieces so bad. Like, I literally had to build the Legos while keeping the pieces in a bag and fishing for the one set I needed.
And what sets did you get?
I got Bowser and his muscle car.
Nice.
And then I got also a dragon to bring in the Year of the Dragon.
I was tempted to get it. That looked really nice. Yes, 2024, guys. In February is the Year of the Dragon, one of the luckiest years in the cycle.
Good. Maybe this year will be a good luck year for me. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for a good year.
Yeah. Heck yeah. How was your holiday, boss man?
It was busy, but I sort of relaxed, but also we went furniture shopping and I packed some stuff. My office is quite full of emptiness. I have a bunch of totes behind me with strategy guides and games and stuff and a bunch of stuff downstairs, and I reorganized all of my stuff so I could pack it nicely. And we get the keys in what's Friday? 3 weeks from Friday. So and then we're going on vacation that Sunday, which was ill-timed. That's okay. So we're fully planning on being moved in by March, because we still have to pay rent here through April. So that kind of sucks, but whatever. It is what it is. So backlog Q1 for me, everybody. Backlog Q1, 2, and 3 probably for me. It's all right. By the time
heavy for me. Whew.
By the time I get to play all the games that I want to play this year, they'll all be on sale. So, but yeah, and then my kids ended up playing some video games with me over the break, and it was fun. We actually played a lot of Mario Party and a lot of Mario Kart over the break, and then we beat the awful Bluey game, the 4 of us, me, my wife, my daughter, and my son. and it is one of the worst video games I think I've ever played in my life. It's hardly a video game, and when it is a video game, it is so broken. I had to reset. So we played it on Switch. I had to reset the game 3 separate times because my daughter kept falling through the world and just,
Oh,
That's not
whatever. Good. It was rough, but we got through it, and she enjoyed it. So that's all that matters when it comes to Bluey, the game.
Gotta do it for the kids.
I do quite enjoy Bluey myself, though. So the show, not the game. Game bad. Game terrible. But yeah, and then yeah, I mean, we just played a bunch of stuff together. I tried to play some Mario RPG when I had some time, and played some Immortals of Avium. So it was a good time. It was a good break. A good break. Also, I did some design work for us, so that's
looking good.
Yep.
Most of my break, because I can't just sit still. Because why wouldn't I just sit still for 2 weeks? So, and then also trying to get the Game of the Year stuff together, and trying to pre-write a script for our Bossy Awards.
Hey.
So, yeah, by the time this comes out, voting is closed. So I hope everybody out there got your votes in. Got your votes in. A lot of ties, a lot of like 3rd, 4th, 5th place ties in there. So, which is interesting.
I mean,
what
3rd, 4th, and 5th don't really matter when.
I know, but I'm saying like, when we do our big the Game of the Year segment, it does because we're gonna do the countdown. So we'll have to figure that out. But I think we will probably just use Metacritic or OpenCritic, or maybe we'll just do that as a team and put them in a certain order, But we'll see. We'll get there. That video should be out in a week or 2, maybe. We'll see. Excited for it, though. Big project. So just a few things. We aren't really going to talk about what we've been playing this week because we have a lot to get to. We are doing our Metacritic draft winners for 2023. And we're going to total up the scores, see what we did, and then we're going to go over the rules for 2024. And then next week's episode will be us choosing for that, for our roster of games. We're going to do a little bit differently this year because, as you guys know, a lot of games come out every quarter. And so we should probably be choosing games every quarter. And so, and then we're going to rattle off our personal top 10 games of the year. What we'll do is we will rapid fire 10 through 6 and maybe some honorable mentions. And then we will go through our top 5 as a conversation, is what we're going to do today. So I suppose we should talk about this Metacritic Draft 2023. On the list here, I will go first with my score, not my total score, but my scores. And then LeRon and Stephanie and Pat, you can declare the winner since you are the honorary commissioner.
Cool.
For those who have joined us recently, Pat joined us after we did this last year. So, yeah. So for me, my roster of games, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom granted me 96 points. Forspoken, 64. Diablo 4, 86. Fire Emblem Engage, 80 points. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, a big fat goose egg. I know, rip. Forza Motorsport, 84. Destiny 2 Lightfall, 69. And
Hell yeah.
It was not nice.
It was not as fun as 69, was it?
Man, it was something. Like a Dragon Ishin got me an 81. Goodbye Volcano High, which I forgot even came out this year. 2 or 3 separate times. Granted me an 82. Hollow Knight Silksong, another big fat gooser.
Which, by the way, super quick about Silksong, because, you know, I do minimize it before everything streams, like when I watch a direct or a showcase, and everyone's like, Silksong, 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 Silksong. Didn't, like, not this past Game Awards, but the previous Game Awards, they said Silksong was coming out in 2024, and then so far, in 2023, and then this entire 2023, we've gotten no news, right? Like, we've heard this much.
Yep.
You're thinking of the Xbox showcase in 2022 when they said all games shown will come out in the next 12 months. And then June 30th came around and there was no Silksong.
Yeah. So what the only thing we really know about Silksong is that it's coming out on Nintendo Switch and Xbox Game Pass on the same day. That's all we know.
So we might see it on an upcoming direct.
I would say that it is very likely that we will see it at a Nintendo Direct.
Yeah.
I think it's too big for an Indie World Showcase video. Also, I bet we hear news about it before Xbox's Summer Showcase, so my guess would be some sort of Nintendo Direct, which, you know, over the last 6 years has happened in the middle of February, so you know.
Or it could shadow drop with this upcoming Xbox.
It won't. It's only first party stuff. The Xbox developer directs are only first party stuff, which is fine.
They bought Team Cherry, and it's like, we bought Team Cherry. Here's our first game.
I mean, I think Microsoft's probably going to avoid buying studios for a hot minute.
Team Cherry's only 3 people. Come on.
Also, with the rumors of Embracer getting ready to shut down like half their studios, maybe they're going to go on a hiring spree and just bring Crystal Dynamics into the initiative with IDOS Montreal and just have 2 teams work out of that studio, which would be great. Anyways, Silksong, Big Fat Goose Egg, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, a 92. Baldur's Gate 3 was the surprise to me at a 96. I almost didn't pick it. Mortal Kombat 1 granted me 83 points. Lies of P at 80 points. And Assassin's Creed Mirage, 76 points. Pat, what's my grand total, commish?
Well, if we do all the math or just look at the total that you typed in the bottom,
I didn't type it there. LeRon did. He did all the math.
LeRon did?
Yeah,
well,
I did all
you
the
got
math.
a big whopping 1,069 points.
Nice.
There's that 69 again.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, we didn't have those 2 goose eggs.
I know. Even if I only had one of the goose eggs, I may have pulled it out.
Yeah, you probably would have won.
I mean,
because either one
could win because we don't know what your 2 scores are yet, do we?
That's true.
Spoilers, I came in 3rd place, everybody. Again. Second year in a row.
Way to ruin it.
Even though he had like 2, he had like the most of the top winners.
I know. I thought maybe like my 2 goose eggs would be covered by like the 490 plus games that I had.
I know. Yeah, 1, 2, 3,
390 plus and like what 480 plus games. I thought maybe that would be enough to cover it, but almost though. Almost. All right. LeRon, I guess that means you're up.
All right, so I came in kind of hot on this one, because let's see, I had Final Fantasy 16 as a pick, which got an 87 on Metacritic. Hogwarts Legacy was a steal. At 84 points. Advance Wars 1 and 2 Reboot Camp, which everyone knows that was a game that I actually wanted. That came in at 82. Dead Space Remake. I am so mad at this because I watched the score throughout the year like a hawk. It started at a 94, and by the end of the year, it hit an 89. And I do not understand the motherfuckers who voted to get it below a 90, because now it doesn't look like we're gonna get a Dead Space Remake 2. So
yeah, I heard it didn't sell well enough for them to even consider one.
Yeah, but EA is always like, it's got to get a 90. It's got to get a 90 on Metacritic first. Think about it, stuff like that. I don't know why it didn't sell well. I have no idea. But anyway,
I'm shocked.
When was the last time an EA Sports title got a 90? And yet they make those every freaking year.
Well, they know the sports
FIFA
games
makes
print
$2
money.
billion a year, so
yeah, it prints money, and they also get endorsements from the NFL.
Yeah,
I thought they had to pay the NFL.
They have to pay for the they had to pay for the licensing, but they still get kickbacks from the NFL.
Yeah. Also, they get free advertising during games and stuff. Yep. Also, like every player, I don't know. I mean, Stephanie, I know you're a Patriots fan, but I don't know if you follow any of the players or not. But when every year when Madden comes out, they like put their Madden scores on Instagram and are like judging themselves. It's like a huge free marketing thing for them. Oh my gosh, the Cleveland Browns are like obsessed with their Madden scores. Obsessed.
That's probably the only place they can win.
They're in the playoffs, dude. They're like the AFC.
I know they're in the playoffs I know they're in the playoffs this year, dude. But
Flacco for Flacco, dude.
Like I've known you for how long, and you always lament the damn Browns every fucking year.
I know. This is only the third time we made the playoffs since 1999, so I'm not.
Yeah.
Dude,
all right. So yeah,
we have another quarterback in Green Bay that's actually like really freaking.
I know,
good.
Third one in a row. Let's not talk about how great Green Bay is at grooming quarterbacks. Okay,
all right.
The Browns have had 38 in like since 99. There's a guy. Hi, Matt. Matt's joining us, by the way, everybody.
Hey,
Matt. We're going over our Metacritic scores right now, our draft from last year to see who won. Spoilers, cool. I came in third place. So
fantastic.
And then we started talking about the Browns and how they're maybe
making the playoffs.
Sort of.
Natural transition.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
By the way,
so, I'm gonna go cry in a corner later because like Dead Space dropped below a 90. So but that's okay. I will play that game to fucking death though. Like I will play it till Necromorphs come and get me.
Yeah.
All right. Next up on my draft was Resident Evil 4 Remake, which came in at 93, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was the highest scoring game I had, which is a shocker because like I don't feel like Resident Evil was a 93 scoring game.
I feel like it was a nostalgia bias type thing.
It's a fan bias. I'm saying it's not a 93, but I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's not a good game. That's what I'm trying to say.
Based on critic review scores, you're basically saying it's trash now.
Yeah. All right.
If it's below an 8, it's garbage.
If it's below a 9.5, it's garbage. Didn't you know that, Matt?
Oh, did they move it?
Yeah.
My next pick, which was an actual shocker for me because I thought it wasn't going to score as well as some of the other ones on here, was Street Fighter 6. It got a 92 Metacritic score. And you know what? I played a little bit of Street Fighter 6 and it was nice, but I wasn't that impressed, so maybe I missed something. I need to play the game again, but Wolong Fallen Dynasty was another game I picked that had 81, and also tying with Wolong Fallen Dynasty was Company of Heroes 3 for the PC. Yeah, 81 as well. Now here's the one true stinker that I picked this entire year, and I picked it because it was a reaction pick because someone stole Starfield from me, which in hindsight maybe I shouldn't have been that mad about them stealing Starfield, but
yeah,
my impulse pick for Redfall got me at 56. Then we had Dune Spice Wars, which I honestly thought was going to do pretty well. Like, strategy games seem to do well, especially on the PC, but Dune Spice Wars had some problems. Let's just put it that way. And it got a 74 on Metacritic. Super Mario RPG got an 84. That's another pick of mine, as well as Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, my favorite fucking mech-based game in a long fucking time. I got an 86. This was a steal. Right, yeah. I know I stole Alan Wake 2 from somebody. I know I did. And it landed me an 89. Yeah, like, you guys, do you know what Stalker 2 got? Because I picked that game. Do you know what it got on the Metacritic?
Big fat goose egg 2 years in a row.
Yeah, because it didn't come
get
out.
released.
It didn't get released. Like,
well, to be fair, that studio is
To be fair.
was being chased out of the country by war. So
yes, yeah, true, and I was just going off of what they said on Dev Diaries, and they were trying their hardest to get it out before 2024. So I can't fault anybody except Vladimir Putin.
Also, there's also like after they moved, their studio caught on fire like 3 months after they moved, and that was neat. And by neat, I mean terrible.
Stalker 2 being stalked.
Yeah.
Problems.
And my final pick on the draft was the Expanse, a Telltale series, and that scored a pretty solid 76. I say solid because I feel like a lot of times games like these do not perform well unless they're just like some fan favorite or some runaway hit. So that's my entire Metacritic draft for 2023. Pat, you want to do the honors and
all right,
give us a total?
Let's crunch these numbers here. Carry the 7, divide it by 2, add a couple zeros to this, and we got ourselves 1,154 points.
Ooh.
Kicking Corey's ass to the curb.
Yeah. Curb stomping. Just
got the way.
Gears of War style, blood and
no,
everywhere.
Come on, I'm a Dead Space player. I'm curb stomping you off an engineer's boot.
Well, let's see if Stephanie can curb stomp both of you with them stilettos.
Yeah, I kind of tried to diversify my portfolio like in real life, but in this case it didn't. Well, I don't know if it really worked out for me. Let's see. So I started off with my pick for Starfield. I figured it was a safe bet. And it got an 83, which was decent. As far as Starfield's actual like performance and excitement, I feel like just overall, most people felt, when I say let down, not that it was a bad game, but just I don't think it ended up being like as blockbustery as Microsoft had wanted, which is unfortunate. But Sea of Stars, I think Sea of Stars is one of my higher scoring ones at 87. Well deserved. 87. Then Horizon Call of the Mountain. That was my first like experimental pick. I'm like, oh yeah, VR games, but if it's a Horizon title, it definitely should do well. And I don't know if 79 would be considered well, given.
I think it's pretty high for a VR title.
For VR. So next is Star Wars Jedi Survivor at 85. Did pretty well. Then I kind of, again, start picking some indies. Coffee Talk 2. I love that game. It did all right for an indie at 79. I just said, what the heck, and picked Dead Island 2, which got a 73. Oxenfree 2. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't understand how Dead Island 2 did so bad. Like it was, like, I mean, maybe it's because it was more of the same with a little bit extra. Maybe.
Good question. I'm assuming the Metacritic scores you're using are critics, not audience, correct?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Critic score. I don't trust audience scores farther than I can. I don't know.
I'll just say with the amount of flux that's happened in games journalism, a lot of people are getting titles that are probably pretty far out of their wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Which is probably bringing scores down.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I just game industry is not a wonderful place to be right now in many ways. So
I mean, maybe instead of a Metacritic draft this year, we do Open Critic because they're a little more, I guess, spread with the points. I feel like Metacritic has like their scores are like heavier on like bigger publishers and people who pay for them, so they get like weighted higher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we can. I mean, we can definitely talk about that next week when we go to draft.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, continue, Steph.
Point. No worries. I'm still hitting mediocrity. We're almost mediocrity with Wild Hearts at 79. and Oxenfree 2 at 80, which, that did all right. We did a book club on it. I was a huge fan of the first Oxenfree.
Same.
And while Oxenfree 2 was good, I personally was just, I don't know. Maybe I set the expectation too high in my head. But I felt like 80 is is all right.
You were kind of riding on the high from playing the original Oxenfree, though, right?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
The first one is way better in my opinion.
80s are bad. Come on.
What?
I know.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just being competitive because I want 90s in here so I could kick LeRon's butt.
You got to pick the good games like I did, Stephanie. Like Tears of the Kingdom.
Right? Yeah, because you totally didn't pick that before I could.
Tears of the Kingdom was a steal. You know you stole it. Actually,
did.
you and I were both trying to steal that.
I know we do.
Can
you blame us?
I did this for David. Oh, sorry. Finish.
No, I was legit about to tell Corey to catch me outside.
It's cold out. I'm not going outside. I'll unlock the door and you can come in here, I guess.
Be like, it's cold. Hop your ass in here with me.
Get some hot cocoa.
Mm.
Okay, back to Stephanie.
That's what they used to call me back in the day.
Ooh.
Just
Called
kidding.
it hot cocoa
Not
because
really.
they had
No, they didn't.
marshmallows.
I'm going to say no, they did not.
Matt's here to keep it straight.
No, they didn't.
That was good. I don't know how to transition from that.
Aliens Dark Descent, everybody.
75. Woo! But you know what? Aliens Dark Descent definitely did better than The Wolf Among Us 2.
Yeah. ...
That never came out.
Yikes.
So that was a big fatty McFat 0.
Might never come out now.
At this point, yeah.
Rip Telltale twice.
I think this is my highest scoring one. Spider-Man 2. So that was pulling the most weight at a 90. Spider-Man 2. And then Pikmin at 87. And Cocoon, a nice indie game that scored very well. Venba at 79. And last but not least, Fae Farm, which I did not play, but I was running out of games to pick, and that got a 76. So, we'll see. I got 1-0. Pat, how'd I do?
Well, if we steal some points from LeRon, add back some points to
That's
Corey,
collusion.
So
that is collusion.
You got
also not mathing, right?
Huh?
Nothing.
It's called a handicap, LeRon. Come on.
A handicap?
A handicap.
Who you calling handicap?
Right.
Your grand total came to 1,140 points, making LeRon the winner by 14 points.
Congratulations, LeRon.
I'd like to thank the games industry, I'd like to thank them, even though you kind of fucked over a whole bunch of developers and programmers this past year. But I want to thank you guys anyway, right? Because we had a good fucking year of gaming.
God, that sounds
even if I didn't play.
That sounds like one Keely-ass exception speech.
Even if I only played
Gonzo's
4 games on my Metacritic Draft.
Oh boy.
I mean, I gotta say, me stealing Hogwarts Legacy, and Alan Wake 2. I think those are the ones that really did it for me.
Well, you're gonna have a challenge, LeRon, because I'm stepping into the ring next time.
It's true.
Oh yeah. Patrick is in the chat. Patrick is in the chat. Okay.
Yeah.
I crunch the numbers, man.
Bring it on, big boy.
If Matt starts showing up every week, then maybe he should jump in on it too.
So before we go any further, no, I can't guarantee I'll be here every week.
Yes, you can.
Number 2, I've honestly haven't paid attention to the games industry for a year. So
you can be the commish.
What? Come on. Parenthood?
Yeah.
Dude,
Baby.
my son's walking now. It's scary out here.
Oh, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, well,
he
Matt,
just
wait
got
till
up one day and is like, I'm just doing this now.
Wait till they start standing on your coffee table and trying to see how far they can jump and if they can reach your couch. Okay?
Well, see, that's the problem is I'm going to enable that. So I'm more worried for Reba in that respect because I'm also really looking forward to when he's like, this is a couple years away, but I'm really looking forward to when he starts doing guess what all the time. And I'm the only person in our house that's going to stress out is my wife, because at some point she's going to be like, why do you keep doing this to him? And because I will just enable all of that because I find it so endearing personally.
Yes.
You're on a wonderful, exhausting journey, my friend.
Yes.
Yeah, I packed my 2023 weirdly full. Changed jobs, had a kid.
Good times, huh?
Absolutely.
It really it is. I know it's not for everybody, and but I'm glad I'm doing it. So
it is for everybody. Everybody's just a coward. I'm just kidding. It was a joke.
Work in a hospital for like 15 minutes. You'll see it's not for everybody.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I got a paper cut the other day and I was
laid out for a while.
Oh man.
Got a paper cut at work. I'm gonna go have a lie down.
Can I get workman's comp?
Oh, I'm dizzy all of a sudden.
Oh no. All right. So congratulations, LeRon. You win a prize of choosing.
What I win?
Being the PC muscle race. That's you win.
I'm not 100% sure what you won yet, but we'll discuss off the air.
He won bragging rights.
Yeah.
Well, I have a leftover $50 like PSN card that my boyfriend gave me the year before last. I never used. So if I could get another $80, then I've got my PS Plus subscription for a year because I let that shit lapse.
How about a sweet 25?
I'll take it. Actually, don't give me PSN. Don't give me a PlayStation card because like I barely turn the PS5 on.
Have fun with this and actually give you $11.54.
Just give him a PSN card that says Tree Fitty on it.
Tree 50.
Tree 50.
All right.
Yeah, I'd say the easy grab is a Steam card, gift card.
Yeah. So like always, the third place person will buy the first place person the prize. So me again. Yay.
You know what, guys?
So Corey's got to drop LeRon a steamer, right? Is that what I'm understanding?
That's what I heard.
You know what, Pat, Stephanie? Corey does so much for us. Like we need to do something nice for him.
Nope.
We do.
No, you showed up, so that's enough.
I'm not sending, but we're not sending you and your family to Disney. You're on your own for that.
I'm already going in like 3 weeks. So
you just
figure it out.
You just built a house, motherfucker.
When are you going?
2 days after we get the keys to our house.
Sick.
So February.
I have to get your present in the mail to you.
February 4th through the 11th is when we're going.
Okay.
So
buy yourself a lightsaber and say it was from me, Corey.
No, not buying any expensive gifts. Not buying any expensive anything. So I'm excited though. It's gonna be fun. Hopefully nobody cries. But my kids don't know yet, which is exciting. We'll see how that goes. Anyways, I was going to explain what we're going to do for the Metacritic draft next week, but Stephanie left us, so we're going to ramble for a minute. Matt, how have you been? How was your holiday? How was your not holiday? Because you're in the medical field and you don't get days off.
I actually, funny story. I for the first time in 6 years, I had Christmas and New Year's off.
Ooh.
Yo.
Look at you.
Yo, that's worth celebrating.
Living like a king over here.
Yeah. Well, and then is the funny part, like I've never really gone into detail about this, but since for about 10 years now, I've told people really close to me and, you know, in close proximity to me that I don't celebrate Christmas. And this is the first time I started saying it to people that like I started saying it at work. I'm like, I don't celebrate Christmas. They're like, oh, are you Jewish? I go, no, I'm not Jewish. I just don't celebrate Christmas. They're like, but aren't you raising your son Jewish? I'm like, yes, my wife is Jewish, but I don't celebrate Christmas. I'm like, oh, what do you celebrate? I go, nothing. If I'm off, I sleep.
Stop bothering me. Who cares?
Yeah, just like I just don't like I don't need it in my life anymore.
You and I are the same because like I'm in a completely different way because like I'm one of those people where like I don't necessarily need to celebrate these big holidays because like it's a day off for me and like it's a day that I get to just cherish being alone. But when I tell people that, the only thing they hear is I have nobody to celebrate with, so they think I'm this sad, lonely person.
Aren't you sad and lonely, LeRon?
Not since I met my boyfriend. Like I've turned it around.
All right, you're telling us how you.
No. I was about to say something bad. Never mind.
You're telling us how you were Netflix and chilling this weekend.
No, that was more like Hulu and go. That was like
Hulu and home.
Hulu and go the fuck home.
Yeah. Home.
But
we're way past our honeymoon phase. I'm sorry, Matt. I did not mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good. So holiday was fine. But it was also like half of Reba's family celebrates Christmas. So we went there and it was nice to see Eitan just sort of meet a whole bunch of family that he hadn't met yet. And kid's going to be a little senator, man. He just works the room without even talking. It's crazy. I wish I had half the confidence he seems to have in crowds.
You're telling me, man. Kids know no bounds when it comes to that. Man, me on the other hand, I will hide.
Oh,
forever.
another little thing that happened. I got my first dada.
Ooh, nice.
Aww.
Yeah, so
nice.
So that was cool. That was cool. He's not said it since. Because I responded to it. He's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't want that guy. Just give him away.
Nice.
So let me guess. You're not his favorite parent.
Oh, it's not even a contest.
Dads never are.
Think about it. Just think about it. Not necessarily like, you know, the role of the mother and the father, but think about it in terms of pure anatomy and biology. She provides literally everything for him.
Mm-hmm.
So if he's in my arms for too long, he's like, you do nothing for me. Meanwhile, you know, I also...
It's true.
But because he doesn't understand what working is. He doesn't understand that, like, I have to pay to, you know, keep, you know, all that. But so naturally, like, he's always going to prefer that over just some dude in a baseball cap going, look at this record. Although when I do spin records now, he does want me to lift him up so he can look at them.
It'd be a good, like, kind of either like an after dark topic at some point, because I was told that I was very partial to my dad when I was a baby, but that could just be a very unique circumstance because my mother, as I love her, and she has her own very special way of showing her love. My dad was probably the more affectionate one out of the two. But like sometimes I hear like when I speak to dads, they're like, yeah, my daughter loves me but hates or clashes with mom. And then all the sons love the mom and clash with dad. And I don't know if it's like some weird Freudian thing or whatever, but
I mean,
something I've learned from psychology is like there tends to always be in most instances, there tends to always be an adversarial relationship between mothers and daughters. Like, and whereas fathers are kind of different. Fathers, you know, like they have their son and they want them to be their best friend, and then eventually, like it becomes adversarial, like when the kid gets older, like especially during the teenage years and stuff like that. Yeah. It's a weird dynamic, you know, and normally, like I don't know, like it's kind of weird how like that goes because like I just look at I just look at the parent-child relationship. They always love each other.
I mean, now that I'm firmly in it, and I know Corey and Stephanie could probably speak to this as well. I don't know what your situation is, Pat. I'm not trying to leave you out. But it's once you're in it, you start to see it very, very differently. Like, I've been feeling like a lack of connection with, or at least I was feeling like a lack of connection with Eitan for a while, just because he seemed to just react pretty negatively when I was, taking him from his mother for a brief moment so she could relax or go to the bathroom or just have a solitary second by herself. But like now he's starting to recognize I think he's definitely fully recognized the three important people in his life, like my wife, me, and my mother-in-law. And he knows that each of us offers something different for him. And he knows how to get his needs met from all three of us, depending on a given situation. So, but then there are probably a ton of other things I could go into, but I'm not going to. I don't want to take us down that path right now. Video games, right?
Sure.
Video games.
Well, speaking back to video games and whatnot, but shout out to a friend of mine, Jenny. She just said she subscribed to the Boss Rush podcast. So thank you for subscribing.
Leave that comment.
We love you.
Review. Nice one. Not a 1-star because we talked ill of Elden Ring maybe one time.
Not even ill, just
I know.
Did not sing its praise.
Except for maybe LeRon, I don't really see any of you being anywhere near interested in that.
Hey, I played a few hours of Elden Ring. I was like, man, this is sure a Dark Souls game. And then I put it away.
Right. Which why?
I made a mage build and then I got gatekept so hard because people are like, oh, look at this guy. He's a mage. Ew.
Why were you a mage, bro?
Because being a mage in Elden Ring is awesome.
It was pretty cool to be honest.
I'm so shocked they found a way to make a magic user be more fun than Dark Souls 2. Because Dark Souls 2 was, up until Elden Ring, the gold standard for being a magic user in a Souls game.
I knew that.
Come at me. I don't care what anybody has to say. Fucking comment.
Come at him, but don't leave us a 1-star review. Thanks.
Yes.
What year is it?
I don't work here, so
Matt's
it's fine.
Talking about Dark Souls. Here we go. I know. I'm just kidding.
I'm telling you, Matt and I are the same because I'm always like, y'all know what the ad is.
I mean, the resemblance is uncanny. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm looking in a mirror, LeRon.
I know.
I need to wear more hats on the stream now. Well, I don't know. Ever since I've done this with my hair, I'm like, I want to show my hair off.
I will not bare my arms more because it'll just embarrass you. That's my reflection. No.
All right. Speaking of embarrassing, let's go over some Metacritic Draft rules for next week, so we can just kind of jump right in and talk about what we've been playing next week and everything. So basically, next week we are doing our 2024 Metacritic Draft. Pat will obviously be included in that this year, and basically what we're going to do the first or second week of every quarter. So January, April, July, October.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. We will each of us will pick 5 games per quarter.
For a grand total.
Oh, goodness.
For a grand total of 20 games each.
Yes.
I don't know if I'll be able to come up with that many games.
You will. I believe in you.
That is 80 games among us.
Yep.
I was going to be taking notes like a mad
Wait, someone
woman
picking Among Us?
during the Nintendo Directs.
Also, I want to say the rules also, if you have picked a game, or if you have not picked a game and it comes out and nobody has picked it, you cannot pick it. So of
course, that makes absolute and total sense.
So, yeah, because then you'll already know the Metacritic score. and that seems a little unfair. But
that's cheating, cheater.
Yeah, what LeRon said. Well, now that we got those rules out of the way, that's basically it, and we'll decide if we want to use OpenCritic or Metacritic next week. Metacritic Draft just sounds like we'll probably keep the name, but we might use OpenCritic. But anyways,
you could say OpenCritic Draft. It's kind of the same thing.
We could.
Same rhythm.
Same rhyme. It's bobsled time. If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts. It's time to talk about our top games of the year. So basically what we're going to do, I'm pretty sure most of, if not all of us, have made at least a top 5.
I've made a top 5, but only 2 of them are from this year because I've not played a lot.
That's okay.
I made a top 46.
That's fair. What we're going to
add Hitman to it to make it 47.
Fortunately, the 47th game did not get in there by the time I made the list.
Oh,
I would have
rip.
to find a spot for it.
Rip. So what we're going to do is we are going to rapid fire through our honorable mentions / 10 through 6 if we made it that far. And then what we'll do is go one at a time for our top 5s. Matt, you can say whatever you want.
Okay.
So, who wants to go?
Wait a minute. Wait. You can't give him very loose boundaries like that. Say whatever he wants. Like he will say whatever the fuck he wants about us.
I know.
Not about any games he's played.
It's okay. Matt, you can say whatever you want. It's fine.
I mean, if I didn't like you, I'd say more of what I want. But I love and respect all of you, so I wouldn't even dare.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I keep coming back for a reason, so
you're a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
No, I'm just herpes personified. I don't know.
Oh God, you have to keep on getting.
Once you get it, you can't get rid of it.
That's me.
It burns, but in a good way.
You can hide it though.
What? Matt, you want to go first?
Comment.
You want to, since you are our esteemed guest this week, you want to talk about some of the favorite things that you've played that aren't in your top 5?
That aren't in my top 5? Okay. I have to kind of go from memory. I revisited Neon White this year. And while I don't think much of the main guy behind it, Ben Esposito, because he's said some not necessarily like 100% awful things, but he's been acting kind of problematically, not like criminally problematically, but like he's not a great guy. Neon White is a really fun game. I do love the soundtrack. And it's if you would have told me that a game like what is it, the running game that EA brought back,
Mirror's Edge?
Yes, if you gave Mirror's Edge but with cards for combat, I would have said nah. And then you add like dating sim elements to it, I would have said, what the hell are you doing? But that Neon White is a very nice package. I do like it a lot. I started a game called Haven, and I never really got to finish it. The traversal in that game is really cool. The romance is really nice.
I remember Haven. Okay.
You can choose to be guy, girl, guy, girl, in terms of like the relationship and the story. It doesn't really change a lot of the dialogue options as far as I know. I could be wrong there, but I chose a girl-guy relationship, and I thought the dialogue between the characters when it was time to be romantic was very sweet and very warm and very reminiscent of like a very caring relationship. And that game was really fun. I just never got to finish it. And then what else did I play? I can't think of anything, so I'm just gonna let. I have my 5, and that's really it. So, I'll let the next person go.
All right. Well, Pat, I'm sure you have a list chock full of games.
I do have a list. I actually I have it on my phone right now. All right, so I take it I'm just doing the speed run of 10 through 6.
10 through 6, and then like honorable mentions, I guess.
Okay, well,
if you want. Like a couple, like 2 or 3 honorable mentions, if you want.
I would
something that really stood out to you, but didn't quite have it. You know.
Hold on, I gotta open up that list then.
Oh no, he made a huge list. This guy.
Yeah, I had the 10 list. You're making me get the 46er.
You're making me go to the spreadsheet.
It is on a spreadsheet. Steph's seen the spreadsheet.
I have. It's a beauty.
That sounds like a euphemism if I've ever heard one.
All right. So, honorable mentions. I will say my 11 and 12 games was Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, and Master Detective Archives Rain Code.
That's great 5 games in one title.
Yep. But if we're here for the top 10, so I will go through that quick. Number 10, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh.
Yeah, number 10. Crazy. Everyone thought that was going to be Game of the Year.
I know. We all had it locked when that game came out.
Number 9, Theatrism, Final Bar Line. That is a Final Fantasy-based rhythm game.
Mm-hmm.
I played the heck out of that, and every time a new DLC dropped, had to pick it up and try that new DLC. Number 8, Octopath Traveler 2. This game was definitely about the journey and the wonderful music that is behind it. Like, funny thing is, I thought Octopath 1 was kind of boring, but then I gave 2 a shot, and you know what? I was impressed with 2. It was a great.
I heard 2 was way better than 1 because I also found 1 to be it overstayed its welcome real quick. I don't want to say initially it was boring, but I feel like it got super repetitive and outstayed its welcome for sure.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same.
I lost a lot of motivation in the first one. I'm like, I don't care about any of these characters anymore.
Yeah.
I literally tried to play the game twice. Like, I played it once. I got like 1.5 chapters through for everyone. Then I played it again, and I got through everyone's second chapter, but then I quit again. Anyways, number 7, Hogwarts Legacy.
Ooh.
And then number 6, Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name.
Ooh. That seems a little low on your list. I'm shocked.
You know what? It would have been higher, but the top 5, like
his top 5 must have some bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banging bangers. Speaking of bangers, LeRon.
Whoa.
Don't act like you don't.
Don't act like that didn't excite you a little bit.
Okay. All right. Well, this is you know what? These are actually everything in my top 10 is everything I've actually played or actually started, you know. And when I say started, like almost all these games on this list are games I actually got a little bit of the way through. I didn't just get to the first save and then I was done, you know. So this is actually genuine for me. So here we go, guys. All right, so my top 10 through 6. We starting off with Metroid Prime Remaster. Wonderful game. I love it, but I also remember why, like, Metroid Prime was like a slow burn for me because I never got used to the first person style of that game and stuff like that. But it's nice. It's nice seeing what Nintendo and the developer did with this game, and yeah, so it made my top 10 this year. This past year, I should say. At number 9 was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I love this game. I love the nostalgia in it, but once you get past the nostalgia, that's about all it's got going for it. In all honesty, it's got a decent soundtrack, but I mean, it's nostalgia, so like it's not just that radio soundtrack. It's got really good gameplay and actually elevates some of Jet Set Radio's original gameplay as well. But at the same, because like they expanded, like you have skateboards, you have bicycles, you can still rollerblade and stuff like that. But after a while, like it kind of like loses its luster.
It got grading
didn't
real
lose enough of its
fast.
luster. How was that?
It got grading real fast.
Yeah, for real. Coming at number 8 was Cyberpunk 2077's Phantom Liberty. Now, the reason why this is on my list, even though I have not beaten Cyberpunk 2077, is because my roommate loved it so much and he wanted me to actually try it. So I was like, okay, I will play all the way through the introductory stuff and get into the story, and I have to stop because I need to go beat CP77. Yeah, but I tell you this, like, yes, it was. Yes, it was. And the game is so gorgeous. I play on the PC side, like when you have like the hardware that does the heavy lifting and stuff, like it's almost like a transformational experience. Kind of like a transformational experience that people got from playing original Final Fantasy VII to Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's that transformational as far as what Cyberpunk 2077 has done in 2+ years time. It's incredible. At number 7 on my list was Hi-Fi Rush. You know me, I love rhythm games. I love rhythm games. This game is gorgeous. It's beautiful and stuff. I feel like sometimes the combat can get a little convoluted, and it's not because because like a lot of people are gonna say, oh, it must have gotten convoluted for you because like you just didn't do the beat matching. Like, motherfucker, all I do is play rhythm-based games. Trust me, I can beat match with the rest of them. But some of the mechanics and conventions of Hi-Fi Rush kind of kept it from being in my top 5. And in the number 6 place in my top 10, Alan Wake 2, because I'm a big fan of Alan Wake 2, Alan Wake the series. But I have not played enough with Alan Wake 2 to propel it into my top 5. So yeah, so it's going to be interesting what numbers 5 through 1 are for me. Beautiful game, though.
Nice.
Love the story. I guess we should talk some. Actually, Stephanie, you're go now.
Well, quick, how far are you now in Lake 2?
Not far enough to count.
Got it. Okay.
Like we're investing.
Only top 6 far, not top 5 far.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
We're
You obviously haven't hit We Sing yet.
No. I have not, because remember, come on, during the Game Awards, I was like, what was the point of this performance? Like I was not in on the joke. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, but also, I feel like the musical performances always take away from the Game Awards. Like it takes me out of it. Anyway, yeah. The game now, music in the games, that's a completely different thing. Like I guarantee you, probably when I get to that point in the game, I'm gonna be like, hell yeah, this is fucking great. But seeing at the Game Awards, I was like, huh? Really? But I was like that for every single other musical performance except for the Final Fantasy one. That shit was gorgeous. That shit was gorgeous, and I was like, God, that girl is singing this shit. Yeah. So there we go.
I've played that song from the Old Gods of Asgard so many times. My son is starting to sing along to it and know the lyrics. That poor child.
Corey, what was the last game you talking about before you stepped away?
What are you talking about?
The last game I heard you talk about, Metroid Prime Remastered.
Okay, number 9 was Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Number 8 was Cyberpunk 77 Phantom Liberty. Number 7 was Hi-Fi Rush. And number 6 is Alan Wake 2.
So I guess that means it's Stephanie's turn.
Is it? Sure. This is my kind of 10 through 6 / honorable mention. I think the majority of these don't necessarily go. Actually, well, all right. So these 3 don't have a particular order, and that's Melon Journey, Bittersweet Memories. Really fun game with a Game Boy like art style. really adorable. You play as a person with bunny ears, and you work in a melon soda factory where the next town over, melons and melon products are all illegal. It's just like a really kooky, crazy premise, but it's just a lot of fun, and it really makes me feel like I'm playing a old Game Boy adventure game, but with, more modern sensibility, and it's got a great script. So I played it at PAX East 2023, and that's how I learned about it. Bought the physical off Play Asia. Really liked it. Super Mario RPG and Coffee Talk 2. So those are honorable mentions. I never played the original Mario RPG. I give it a lot of credit. I mean, given that came out way back when, that's pretty awesome. And then Coffee Talk 2, just a fantastic indie game. The sequel, I still like the original better, but the sequel still holds up. And then number 7 and 6 are just, it's painful for me to say that they're not in my top 5, but that's only because so many great games came out. Pikmin 4 and Resident Evil 4 Remake. They are up there, but just got edged out by other things. So I've never played the original Resident Evil 4, so I don't have nostalgia to really bolster my experience. And even then, I freaking loved it. It just was so fun. It's just a blast. And then Pikmin 4, so you'll see a theme here. I've never played a Pikmin game, but Pikmin 4 is just an amazing, well done game. The puzzles are fun, great to explore. It's just, I can't recommend it enough for everybody. So those are my honorable mentions. And like I said, it pains me to say that Pikmin 4 and Resident Evil 4 Remake are like outside my top 5, but they're like top 5 adjacent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pikmin 4 is incredible. It's incredible. It's an amazing game. So I guess that leaves me, huh? So I'm going to start off. This is like an 11, number 11, and it was actually on my list for a long time. But then I feel like me playing it so much, 2022, and it technically not hitting 1.0 until 2023, that maybe it would be unfair if it was on my list, an official list. But it's Disney Dreamlight Valley, everybody.
Dude, that was like your number 2 on Nintendo PAL Block. How is it number 11?
Well, I said I took it off this list. I took it off this show's list because then I also felt like everybody would just make fun of me. But it was...
They'll still find ways to make fun of you.
I know, it's fine. Also, since Ed and I recorded that episode, my list has changed because I played new games.
Fair.
Because we recorded that before New Year's or on New Year's Eve or New Year's, whatever. I don't remember. It was so long ago at this point. But my 10 to 6. So my number 10 is Ravenlock for Xbox. It's on Game Pass. It is a kind of like this voxel 2.5/3D Zelda-like experience set in Alice in Wonderland. It's really cute, really charming. Coco Cucumber is the developer. Number 9 is Hi-Fi Rush. Great art style, killer soundtrack. Both the real soundtrack and the quote-unquote streaming only soundtrack are both bangers. Characters are great. It's a wonderful experience. Number 8 is Resident Evil 4. Specifically, Separate Ways kind of cemented this game to be on my list. I really enjoyed that entire experience, even though I don't like the spooky games. Although this game, outside of that, maybe that opening couple hours is not scary really at all.
It's gonna say, like, who knew that a Resident Evil game would make your top 10?
I know.
LeRon?
Yes, LeRon?
You thought Resident Evil 4 was scary?
No, that's what I'm trying to that's what I'm trying to say. I said I wouldn't have imagined Resident Evil being on my list because I don't play scary games, but the game after even maybe like the first couple of hours
okay. I thought Okay, I thought
definitely not.
The way I heard it, I thought it sounded like you got through some parts, and then it got scary for you.
No,
okay.
Listen,
I thought it was terrifying.
The regenerators are terrifying.
The opening too, when you
I've
like
never
first
played
explore
it.
that house in the beginning, is like there's some jump scares in there that are pretty whatever. But
yeah, there's some jump scares. Yeah.
My number 7 is Remnant 2. I didn't play enough of it for it to be higher on my list, but it reminds me of it's definitely a poor man's Outriders is how I described it earlier this week. And
man, I guess I have to play Outriders.
Dude, Outriders Game of the Year 2021 2.
This guy keeps talking about this game.
Dude, Outriders is fucking dope. I don't care what anybody says.
I will say the writing in that game is gold.
What, Outriders?
No. Outriders.
Yeah, that's what I said. Outriders. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's incredible.
Be like,
no,
okay,
Outriders.
So there's this volcano. It's got a monster in it. You want to avoid the monster, so I have to go and fight this monster, right?
Yep.
No, that's not what I'm. No, I have to go and fight this monster.
Yep. Your character is a total d-bag.
Dead.
Yep.
It's awesome. I love it.
He's basically a space cowboy.
Yeah, it's awesome. I fucking love Outriders. Remnant reminds me of that. Let's see, where am I at? And my number 6 is Super Mario Brothers Wonder. A very amazing 2D Mario game. So that would be it. That would be my bottom 5, I guess you would say. So Matt, we're back to you, guy. What's your number 5, buddy?
All right. So
you also must state the year it came out. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Some of these I don't actually remember, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. I'm also going to say, I became a father.
Bear with you? Is it Baldur's Gate?
No. I became a father, started a new job. Trying to learn new things was very challenging this year. So I also am including a companion list of games that I really, really wanted to play but wasn't able to. So number 5 is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, and
hell yeah,
that's been on. I've done a couple of top 10 lists over the past couple of years for other places, and that has been on my list for the past 3 years. It came out 3 years ago now. And the reason I keep adding it to my list is because every time I pick a new weapon, that game plays differently.
Yeah.
And that'll be my sales pitch for Monster Hunter as something people should play. Because
14 different weapons,
13 because the heavy bow gun and the light bow gun, they aren't.
Oh, there are major differences between those two.
I tried each of them. I'm like, this is boring.
I'm a light bow gun person myself, though.
Okay.
Oh, here we go again. We're turning into the Monster Hunter show. Here we go.
Maybe we should talk.
But for hire, anybody?
Matt's schedule like that could actually work in my favor.
I know, that's what I'm suggesting it.
But so going back and really I didn't do anything different this time out. I just started playing it on PlayStation, and playing it on PlayStation has just been so nice and so fun. And it became a new challenge because going back to it after playing through all of Rise and all of Sunbreak on Switch and Steam, the years those respectively happened, I forgot how to be bad at that game. So when you start, I forgot how to start from the beginning. So it's literally like, I know the mechanics of the weapon. Oh wait, I haven't learned these switch skills yet. Oh, I haven't crafted this particular decoration yet. Oh crap, I have to get all the way there to get my build back. So I ended up actually, I told a fib. I did pick the lance this year, and I got really good with the lance.
The pokey lance, not the boom mama shell everything in death lance.
So I got really good with the gun lance on Switch. People who just say the lance is pokey, in Rise and Sunbreak, y'all are lying.
Oh, I know. Rise and Sunbreak.
There's something very nice in taking that gigantic shield, just taking it to the side, bringing this big lance, pulling back,
and smacking the hell out of something.
Smacking a dragon and knocking them over. You look like Mungo in Blazing Saddles. And they just fall to the ground. It's I
love Matt's energy. Yeah, we gotta do something.
But also, like, I went back to the insect glaive the past few weeks, and let me tell you, there's something so freeing about that weapon. You just, a dragon's gonna fly away. Oh, I'm just gonna vault up there with you, dragon. I'm gonna bring you down.
Have you tried the challenge yet? Which is just kill a monster with just the insect. Have you tried that?
No, because I like to have fun. That just seemed boring.
use the
powder vortex.
Yes.
Like I'm before I finish, because I'm really close to the platinum in Rise. So before I finish, I will figure out how powder vortex works. But I love this game so much. Monster Hunter World brought me in. This has made me a fan. And once I'm done platinuming Rise, I will participate in the Return to World thing that's happening in the Monster Hunter
I've already
right
returned.
Now. I have too. I've been playing it on my Steam Deck, and
I'm playing it on my Rogue Ally. We should do this bit.
and like the bow. I love the bow so much.
The bow. Okay.
Don't even.
You knew what I was going to say. You knew what I was going to say. We're done.
Oh no. What are we doing?
I'm just going to say one thing. Fuck long swords. That's all I'm going to say.
Then you knew what I was about to say.
Fucking diva ass long swords getting in my way.
Because I watch people bowman, and I'm like, y'all have the nerve to talk about the long sword?
Yikes.
Anyway, so the game the game I'm going to put in the companion spot here is the game that I tried no less than 7 times. But when you're a new parent and you realize that you need to get a certain distance in the game to, like, not necessarily save your progress, but so you can sort of internalize a lot of it. This is where I'm putting Armored Core 6. I tried to play that game so many times, and I was never able to get a long enough session in to where I internalized a lot of what I need. I will get back to it. I will play that game. I will probably get all the trophies in it because I do that for FromSoft games. But what I did play of that game is fucking awesome. And it left probably the best impression on me that a From Software game has left since Demon's Souls. Not better than Demon's Souls, but very, very good. Whoever wants to go next, the floor is yours. I'm done for a while.
I guess that would be Pat is next.
All right. My game number 5 was Diablo 4.
Diablo 4?
Diablo 4. I
thought everybody hated that game, Pat.
You know what? People do, and I don't know why. I just don't. Because it's actually a really fun game. Like, the world that you explore, it has so much lore, and it's just, there's so much going on, and the side quests are so meaningful, and learning about the various characters in the game. And it's also the only game I played multiplayer, and I've really enjoyed playing multiplayer with friends on this. We tackled various quests, we raided dungeons, sometimes we split off and did our own thing, and then came back together to fight a world boss. There's a lot going on in this game, and now they're going to have the quarterly seasons, and hopefully a new expansion here by the end of the year, which they, the Vessel of Hatred, but it really got me into Diablo, and I kind of want to go back now and play 2 and 3. But 4 was amazing. A lot of fun. People should go check it out.
Nice. LeRon, what is your number? What are we on? 5? 5.
All right, so let me just go ahead and frame this now. There are Nintendo games in my top 5.
No, there's not.
There are first-party Nintendo games in my top 5.
Yeah, there is. I know which one.
Yep. So
there's one in mine too.
Starting this off right.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Oh God.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
I guessed it.
Yeah. Okay. So I can't say enough about this game. I watched my boyfriend beat the game like last week, and I'm still playing it. So I was like, you know what? This is usually one of those situations where I don't like spoilers, but because the game started giving me fits. Once I got a little knee deep into the second world, and my boyfriend just went above and beyond it, and he beat the game. Like he went to the final stage and beat that. So this game is wacky.
Final stage, as in the final actual Bowser level, or are we talking about the star level secret?
The star level, yeah, that one.
The Rainbow Road of platformers.
He beat it. He beat it.
I don't have the patience to do that.
You know what? I had to tell him. I was like, you're a better gamer than I am, because I usually quit. I
lost 50 lives in a row on that one.
He bought the 99 one up thing from the store. Yeah. But yeah, this game is wacky, it's zany, it's just pure fun and enjoyment. And it's been a long time since I played a game that's just pure fun and enjoyment. Monster Hunter aside, it's been a while since I played something that just kind of took my breath away with how you know what? We nominated this in the feel good category for a reason. We did, And yeah, it was a masterpiece and a treasure. And this is coming from somebody who was I love 2D Mario games, more than the 3D Mario games. But at the same time, when I saw the initial trailers for this, I was like, ooh, this looks like they found a way to make 2D Mario super complicated, like they did with 3D Mario. And yeah, there's some times that you say it could get complicated, but in all seriousness, the game is so fun that you want to learn the complicated shit, which that's a treasure in itself, because a lot of games are difficult for no reason and it pisses people off to where they quit, But Mario Wonder just kept me in there, and you know what? I'm in a love-hate relationship with all the levels that you have to beat match, because some of those beat matching stages are fucking crazy.
They're fun.
Am I missing something with Mario Wonder?
Yes.
Because I've played a ton of it, and it doesn't feel that different from New Super Mario Brothers, which I also played very recently for Switch. Did nobody play New Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah, I played New Super Mario Brothers.
Mm-hmm. The Wii U one?
So, I'll bet you not a lot of people did. At least probably not since the Wii. Because the Wii was the last really big selling console. So the New Super Mario Brothers Wii, people probably played a ton of. But I think I haven't played Wonder. I've seen a lot of it because most of my video game interaction was going to see things that I wanted to play. So I would just watch people play it. What I like about Super Mario Wonder is it seems like the developers this time out, from my perspective, I'm not saying this is gospel, but it seems like they took notes from all of the best platformers of probably the last 10 years and beyond. Probably the last 15 years, because this is the first Mario that looked like it had some Super Meat Boy about it. It also looked like it had some Rayman Origins, Rayman Legends about it. It also looked like it had some Celeste in it. It seems like they are fun. And it also the Kaizo folks that just make hard as shit Mario levels. It looked like it took information from all of those pools and found a way to and found a way to make it to codify it under the umbrella that is Nintendo without
They probably stole so many
distilling it
ideas
without-
from the Mario Maker like stages that people built.
Oh yeah, well I mean, weren't
It's
there
everything in the
actual
special
Mario
world.
Maker creators that got hired by Nintendo? I think that was a thing that happened. I don't know for sure. I don't have any news stories in front of me, but I feel like this is the first 2D Mario that kind of kind of looked at the world around it and said, we know we've been influential. What have people been doing, and how can we sort of continue that conversation?
Yeah,
Because I feel like this is more of a conversation between developers at times rather than players. But and also, like, you can't really argue with the way a Nintendo platformer looks.
yeah.
I see we
The one
have
thing-
a cat now in Stephanie's spot.
Yeah,
Stephanie's
Paxel's just like, no, look at me.
Stephanie's just like peeking out behind the cat.
Yeah, she's
No.
making biscuits on my arm.
Nice.
The one other thing
Keeping it
I'll
warm.
say
Nice.
before I turn it over to the next person about Mario Wonder is just the it's gonna sound very contradictory, but when you break it down to the way it is, like the game is pretty simplistic, and you know what? I think that was like a palate cleanser, for a lot of these very super complicated games that we played in this day and age, like like just games that, like just text like your will or your limit, whether we have like the roguelites, the Soulsborns, ridiculous ass, like, like looter shooters that, like it seems like there's no end, things that
Monster
nature,
Hunter.
Yeah, Monster Hunter. Yeah. I figured I'd play a week or two worth of Mario Wonder and I'd put it down. Like, no, I'm still coming back to it. So that's my number 5.
Cool. Stephanie, I guess that means that you're up.
I still need to get back to Mario Wonder because that's one of the games that my son just decided to take over. He's like, "Oh, what you playing? Mario? I want to play it." And then he took the cartridge and never gave it back. So anyway,
I swear, like one of these days we're gonna get to that point where, like, when you buy physical, you get a free digital copy. One of these days.
would be nice.
Maybe there'll be like $100 bundle that you'd get.
You know what? Sony, here's your challenge. You want to win? You want to win the next generation?
Oh, that won't win it.
I don't know if you saw any of the Insomniac leaks or not, but they are not going to be doing that anytime soon.
That's how I know.
Oh man, that's feels so
How
bad.
will they be able to take that privilege away from you when the time comes if you have a physical?
Well, technically, they can still do that.
Yeah,
probably.
They can still
code it.
They can still firmware update the damn PlayStation so it will not play the game.
Yep, they can kill
Like-
code it.
Just how like Windows and Apple, like, stuff hits end of life and you can't use it on the hardware. Like, trust me, these console companies can do it too.
Oh yeah.
All right, Stephanie, we totally just
Hijack.
I know.
Good. Number 5, Paxel and I are going with Final Fantasy 16.
nice.
I am one of those few that like the action RPG to style. Like, I didn't mind it. Sorry, Paxel, if I offended you. Stray did not come out this year. Anyway, I really fell in love with the icon battles. The soundtrack was fantastic, and I just overall had a blast. And it's been a while since I've dug my hands into a Final Fantasy game and really loved it. And so this was kind of Final Fantasy's return to form for me. Everybody's tastes are different. I really enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the journey. I have not tried the DLC yet, but I plan to. So that's my top 5. It was just way too beautiful, too epic for me not to.
Nice. I guess that means it's my turn, huh? My number 5 is Pikmin 4. It's a wonderful game. I am obsessed with it. I almost, and this is a big fat almost, put it over Zelda, and it was over Zelda until I got sucked back into Zelda over break and realized probably not. But Pikmin 4 is just wonderful. The exploration, I think Ochi is like such a key element of making that game better than its predecessors. For me, this is the best Pikmin experience and definitely the best one since the first one. As someone who was kind of down on 3, this is a return to form and then some. I love the dungeon, like the mini dungeons you go into. It's just a wonderful experience, and I think Pikmin 4 is definitely going to win Game of the Year somewhere. It is that good.
Yeah, I really wish Pikmin 4, I wouldn't say it wasn't successful, right? But obviously, like, I just don't think as a franchise, Pikmin sells as well as a Mario or a Zelda, and it's unfortunate. And the thing with Ochi is, that mechanic could have been either excessive or unnecessary, but I think Nintendo did a really great job with how Ochi functioned in the game. Love Ochi.
Yeah, and just to give people some perspective on Pikmin 4, Pikmin 4 outsold 1 through 3 combined by 2. So
well, that's good.
So just whatever they sold and plus 2 or
times
by double.
2.
Okay.
Yeah, Pikmin 4 was a pretty big success for them.
The world is ready for it now.
Yeah, the world is ready for Pikmin. Speaking of ready, Matt, we're ready for your number 4.
So number 4, guess what? It's another old one.
No, it's not.
So I went back to a little game. I think this came out in 2022. It 1.0'd in 2022. I know that for sure. Or maybe it 1.0'd in 2023. I could be wrong. Vampire Survivors.
Ooh, good one.
When I played that, my buddy Jason and I, we were it was the first time in a long time that I'd been in an achievement race with somebody. And he and I were trying, because they were, the developer of Vampire Survivors was just putting out content for it at a clip that was just unreal to us. And every time new stuff came out for it, 10, maybe 20 new achievements came out. This year, it was the first thing I played on my Steam Deck because I could just install it real quickly and take it to work. And I ended up basically starting from the beginning again and getting all the achievements. And after 1.0, they made some changes to that game, not mechanically, not gameplay, but there were certain paths you could take in that game that it just went wild places. I still haven't fully wrapped my head around it, but it was one of those things when I started finding out about the branching paths in Binding of Isaac originally, not just beating mom and being done with it. Once I started finding that out, I was like, oh, this is just kind of a mind melter in the best possible way. So that made 2023 really fun in terms of playing games, and I still think folks should play that game if they haven't. The companion for it actually is Pikmin 4, because I've not had a chance to play that. I've watched it, and I haven't watched a lot of it because I'm a big fan of the Pikmin series. I like 3, I think, more than most. I don't think it's better than 1 or 2, but I think I like it more than most. But I'm very excited to finally play 4. I'm glad they made a 4th. I was worried they weren't going to do it. Because I also recognize that when people say if they want to get rid of, like, every so often you do those, if you could get rid of a game character or a game series, I feel like the 2 most common ones are Pikmin and Kirby. I don't know why. At least with regards to Nintendo. Kirby, I don't care about too much, but I don't hate it that much. But Pikmin is very close to my heart, and I'm very excited to play for.
Nice. No, I feel the same way with Kirby, and I know Corey feels the same way. It was funny. Quick side story. When I was making a Nintendo Direct bingo card, and it was an inside joke, and one of them was like another stupid Kirby game, just because, there's some times where they just throw out a bunch of Kirby games, but we're still waiting on some other franchises. Right. When I put that on Twitter, per usual, like apparently there's some bloodthirsty Kirby fans, and they're like, I'm going to find you and kill you. I'm like, okay, well, you don't need to be that upset that I called Kirby a stupid game, but okay.
Those games, every Kirby game I've played, Epic Yarn looks so good, but like you have to try to die. There should be some stakes in the game.
You should play Mass Attack.
What?
You should play Kirby Mass Attack.
What's that?
That was a Game Boy DS or Nintendo DS Kirby game where Kirby gets split into 10 Kirbys. That game is hard.
Oh, I don't know. I can only handle one Kirby at a time.
I mean,
no thanks.
To quote a friend of mine, that might be some bullshit I like.
Kirby doesn't have a lot of his normal abilities when he got split into 10, so he can't like suck abilities and stuff, and so you have to try and like get through the levels and keep as many of the Kirbys as you can, because sometimes when you like get to an end of the level, there's like a gate or something that you need a certain amount of Kirbys to get something special.
See, now that's cool. That's a cool thing to me. Like stakes. Like if you, but for some reason, anytime I play a Kirby game, anybody remember the movie Wayne's World?
Wayne's World.
When the first time they have a guest and it's the guy with the suck cut, all I hear is Wayne in my head going, "It certainly does suck."
It sucks and it cuts.
Yeah.
Next, I believe it's you, Pat.
Yep. All right, my number 4 has already been presented. Super Mario Wonder. This game caught me off by surprise. Like, I thought it was just going to be another 2D Mario game, but there's magic behind this 2D Mario game. And I enjoyed it from beginning to end. Until the very, very last challenge, in which case I said, fuck this, I don't need to be this frustrated. But other than that, it was a great game. I loved it a lot.
LeRon?
All right. Number 4. Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp.
Ooh.
Finally, someone else with a game that didn't come out this year.
No, it came out this year.
Yeah, it came out.
Advance Wars didn't, though. Remake.
Oh, well, yeah. It's a remake.
I'm just being a douchebag. Don't worry about it.
if you know anything about me, I love remakes and remasters, especially when remakes and remasters do one of two things, or do both of these things. One, it recaptures the magic, but gives it a nice little update or shiny skin. Or number 2, they elevate the entire experience, but still it feels like that same package that you played back in the day. So yeah, Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, like more nostalgia. Like I burnt up a Game Boy Advance playing the original Advance Wars. I did. like the original Game Boy Advance, like the weird little, like, I don't know, look, that weird shaped one. I don't even know what the shape.
The SP?
What do you call that shape?
Or the regular one?
The SP was the clamshell one.
Right.
I had 3 of those clamshell ones, but the original, the OG Game Boy Advance, like I burnt one of those up. Like, I mean, like when I say burnt up, like it had dead pixels, and the most played game was Advance Wars. Yeah. So of course, like when it got announced 3 years ago, I was like, bring it, and then fuckery happened, and like I had to wait over a year for the game to be released.
I was gonna say it was a torturous waiting period for you, LeRon. I remember the pain.
It was, and you know what? But it was worth every bit of the wait as far as I'm concerned. Like it's fun, like it's whimsical, it's nostalgic, and it's everything I love. And I love strategy games. And like and Advance Wars 1+2. Well, just Advance Wars in general. Like until we got the Days of Ruin, like if you played any of the Advance Wars franchise back in the day, until we got the Days of Ruin, like the game pretty much had like the same simplicity, but also like being it gets hard. It gets hard, and strategy is the only way to beat some of this stuff sometimes, especially when you have missions where it's like, oh, you have to complete this mission in 8 turns. It's like, wait, you gave me no units. How am I gonna do this in 8 turns? things like that,
incisively.
Yeah, it's fun, just knowing the ins and outs of all the units and everything, and like seeing all the changes in the animation and stuff like that, and them doing little sly stuff, like I loved it. And the fact that you got 2 games in one package, it actually made the $60 price tag worth it, in my opinion. Because like in this day and age, like you guys know how I complain about the way Nintendo prices and keeps their games priced, but this is worth it. If you look at $30 a piece, even though you can't buy these 2 games separately on the store, just go ahead and buy the package. You will not be disappointed if you love these types of games. So if you love anything in the vein of Final Fantasy Tactics, anything in the vein of like Persona Tactica, which actually I've heard good and bad things about that. And Wargroove. As a matter of fact, Wargroove was like, in my opinion, a spiritual successor to Advance Wars. And I think the only reason why Nintendo like moved on making the reboot camp is because Wargroove was basically eating their lunch. Which Wargroove 2 is amazing too. I played that this year too. It didn't make my list though. It didn't make my top 10, but it's good.
Wargroove was cool when it came out.
Yes. I never played Advance Wars because I've not really been a handheld person up until Switch, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But this game seems like there are a lot of games that I really, really love that seem to get a lot of DNA from Advance Wars, like Into the Breach, XCOM.
Yes.
A lot of that seems to stem from Advance Wars. XCOM might have been out before Advance Wars.
XCOM is older than Advance Wars. If anything, I feel like Advance Wars like.
But I jumped in an Enemy Unknown, so that was after it. That was after Advance Wars. But yeah, I'm excited to play that when I actually get a chance. But I'm also kind of waiting for that Metal Slug Tactics game to come out.
Me too. Like,
that game
just fell off a fucking cliff. What happened?
I mean, it'll come out. Just wait.
Like
there are plenty of other games to play. It'll come
2022 was supposed to be the year of the damn strategy games.
I mean, every game is a strategy game.
If you put your brain to it, even Devil May Cry is a strategy game.
Yeah, you have to know how to do it.
Okay. Stephanie, it's your turn.
Yes. So I'm wondering if any of you will be surprised that this is not higher. I mean, granted, a number 4 spot's still pretty high, right? But my number 4 is Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom.
I'm not surprised at all.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised, like understanding, like, like I know you are like the queen of the Legend of Zelda and everything, but I also know that you're very objective about the games you play and stuff like that, and if this game is not number 1 in your list, it's not number 1 for a very good reason.
Thank you. I take that as a compliment. Yeah, Zelda's my first love, but I have since spreadeth my wings, and there's just many other delectable. Is that the right adjective?
Sure. I don't know. The
games.
Zelda is Stephanie's bottom bitch. We know this.
So yeah, maybe this will be in your list too, so I won't talk too long on it, but Tears of the Kingdom, what else is there to say that hasn't been said about it already? There are certain aspects of Tears of the Kingdom that are fantastic functionally, but just might not have been my favorite personally. Like the fact that you can fuse things together is fantastic and mind-blowing, but I'm not a smart person. I can't like glue things together and like make this neat like Megazord contraption that I see, like all these crazy insane things that people build, and they have fun doing it. It just happens not to be my thing, but I appreciated the added story to it. I love the Zonai designs. I love the music to it. I love that Ganondorf was in it. Just a fantastic, another example of how Nintendo can take Breath of the Wild and just build off of that. And that's why it's very well deserving in my top 5. Just it came out in a year where a bunch of other amazing shit also came out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Zelda's great. My number 4 is Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I really loved the story. I think it's the best. I think this and Jedi Fallen Order are the best kind of Star Wars stories they're telling right now. As someone who
are they kind of the only in terms of video games?
In games, yeah, but I mean,
oh wait, no, I forgot the Squadrons came out, but I don't know what the story is. That
yeah, I don't either. I just meant like in terms of like whatever they're trying to do on Disney Plus and the movies and whatever. This is
okay.
My favorite Star Wars that's going on right now. And I think that Cameron Monaghan does a great job as Cal Kestis. I think he is that character. Like,
yeah,
you know how sometimes you can be like, oh, well, somebody else probably could have played this character and done a better job.
No, it feels like he's the embodiment.
Yeah. And he just, his delivery, his ability to kind of like convey what's going on and like you believe him, is just, it's incredible. And then his chemistry with what's her name, Tina Ivlev, I think is her name, who plays Marin. Their chemistry together in the game is just, it's unbelievable how good it is, how believable it is. And you want them to make alien human babies. That's all I have to say. Magic Jedi human babies. So that's my number 4. So all right, Matt,
cool.
We're back to you. Our final 3.
Actually, I'm going to ask a question. Yeah. I'm going to ask a question. So I played Fallen Order. I've not played Survivor.
Mm-hmm. Is
the performance better in Survivor because I sort of took to the McElroy approach of referring to him as Cal Lightsaber.
Mm-hmm.
Cal Lightsaber?
Yeah.
Like the acting performance?
Yeah. Because I thought I mean, Cal Kestis could have been, it's not that it was a bad performance, it was just the character was almost blank. And maybe it was maybe that's a purposeful choice so the player can sort of project themselves into that space. I'm totally on board if that's what's happening. But most of what came out of Kestis' mouth in the first game, I couldn't tell you if it mattered.
I mean,
this is me remembering how I felt at the time, not me remembering events of the game now.
Yeah. So I haven't played Fallen Order since it came out. I remember liking it, but not loving it. I love this game.
Okay. All right.
There also, like, even if you don't care about Cal, there's enough interaction between other characters and enough meaningful interaction with other characters that even if you don't like Cal, I still think the story is worth exploring.
Sure, and that's what I got out of Fallen Order as well. Like there were more interesting things at play, regardless of his story. Yeah. So number 3 for me. Number 3, surprise, another old game. It's a sim game. It's called 2 Point Campus.
Fun.
Do y'all like puns?
Sure.
2 Point Campus is full of them.
Yes.
Do you like the animation style of Wallace and Gromit? The character designs very reminiscent of that Aardman animation style. There is a point in 2 Point Campus where you get to night school, and you're thinking, oh, people going to school at night? No. KNIGHT school. So everyone's walking around a college campus in suits of armor.
That's awesome.
Wow.
There's also a School Spirits DLC where everything is ghosts. And this game rules. The premise is you basically design a campus. You design a university. You have to make sure your employees and students are happy. You have to make sure that your students are actually learning and graduate, because it keeps track of all this for you. The announcer who does like the school announcements, very reminiscent of the biting sarcasm of GLaDOS from Portal, and the music is very wonderful. It's cool as hell. On my Steam Deck, I spent a lot of time with it, and I found as things like the first few universities, I want to say the first 5 or 6 are actually tutorial. That's appropriate because it only layers on a couple of things, and you don't have to spend a ton of time in each of them. You just have to get 1 star, and that's quick, and you can keep moving. 2 Point Campus rules. It's the people that did 2 Point Hospital a while back. I'm looking forward to see what they try to take on next. The companion for it is actually Persona 5 Tactica, because I've not had a chance to play that. I never got to play the Persona Q games, but when I got a 3DS, I was thinking about it, but then my 3DS broke, so now I'm just not done that. But I'm excited to play Tactica because I did love Persona 5 a lot. Pat.
Yep. Tactica's good, but you played through all 5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Tactica will spoil the crap out of 5.
Sure. I assumed.
Yep. All right, so my game number 3 was actually my game number 1 for a very long, or at least half a year before other games started taking over, and that is A Space for the Unbound. This game was an absolutely beautiful journey, and the various themes that it hit, with grief, with depression, suicide, abuse, just all these different themes, and how it finally wraps itself up and just lands perfectly. It was like one of the most beautiful stories that I have ever had the privilege of reading / witnessing, and that is a game I definitely want to play again here very, very soon. But it's one that I cannot recommend enough. It was my indie game of the year. It is absolutely gorgeous. Everyone needs to play this game.
Nice.
Once I get my physical copy, I will.
Awesome. You getting it with the book?
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw a couple of screenshots, and it was a few lines of dialogue, and I was like, I need to play that. And it's rare that something like that happens for me where I just see a screenshot. But yeah, I can't wait to play that game.
That game's going to touch your soul.
Hopefully it touches some other things.
Ooh, speaking of touching, LeRon, what's your number 3?
I thought that's what your wife was for.
Not after the baby comes. LeRon, what's your number 3?
Number 3. All right. This is where it gets fun. This nice little game called Sea of Stars.
Ooh.
Yo. Stars. Let me tell you, if I can say one thing about 2023 was a year of nostalgia with games like freaking, well, number 1, like the Metroid Prime remaster, Bomber Cyberpunk, the Advance Wars 1-2 Reboot Camp, Sea of Stars, Mario RPG, this was the year for nostalgia, and it looks like 2024 is gearing up to be pretty nice too. Because I mean, Nintendo's got some more stuff that's going to take my money, like Mario and Donkey Kong, Mario versus Donkey Kong. And what's the other game? I'm forgetting something. Oh well, Paper Mario's coming out. I don't know if I'm iffy on that one. Thousand Year Door. I didn't like Thousand Year Door. Not like everybody else did. But yeah, Sea of Stars. This is Chrono Trigger. It just gets me right in the feels. The story is just as deep and complex as like Chrono Trigger story. Like the original composer for Chrono Trigger, like he came back and did this game because I think this guy was in retirement, wasn't he?
No, Yasunori Mitsuda still does games. This is
Masuda. I thought this is somebody.
No, this is Masuda.
Okay. I don't want to doubt you. I don't want to doubt you because you're like the man when it comes to like RPG and all the stuff RPG. So
he wasn't the main composer to Sea of Stars, but he composed various pieces into it. That was one of the stretch goals. But yeah, his one of the big things he did recently was Xenoblade Chronicles 3.
Yeah. Well, all I gotta say about Sea of Stars. Turn-based RPGs, like, they're a dime a dozen. But the way they did the combat system in this game was something that was so damn refreshing. Because if you told me after I started playing Mass Effect that I'd pick up a turn-based RPG and love it, I'd have been like, you're fucking crazy. Because while everybody's playing Octopath Traveler and some of those other like rinky-dink games, and all that stuff, I'm like, man, it's just another turn-based game. The only other turn-based game that I actually like, is like the Tales stuff, but literally Tales of Arise is like a winner in my category for this. But Sea of Stars, if the combat system doesn't get you alone, the characters will. Especially your third wheel character, which I'm not gonna say anything because I don't want to ruin like the voting for certain games and characters in our Boss Rush award show. So yeah, Sea of Stars.
We all know who you're talking about.
Yeah, Sea of Stars. If you love like, this is the quintessential indie game. It doesn't. It looks just like it got snatched out of the 16-bit era. But it plays so fluidly, like everything. There's nothing to dislike about this game, in all honesty. Like, the game, in my opinion, doesn't seem hard enough to pull you out of like the enjoyment of it. Like, it's got its challenges that will make you actually want to continue and keep going and progressing and getting through the story and stuff like that. That's what I'm going to say about this because I have not beaten this yet. But it's getting close to being beaten.
Nice.
Just beat it the other day. Keep pushing at it.
Nice.
I plan to.
Stephanie, what's your number 3?
My number 3. This top 3. Ooh, Alan Wake 2.
Ooh.
Alan Wake 2. I love it. Alan Wake 2 is my number 3.
Did you pull?
Alan Wake 2.
Did you switch something on us?
Did I? No, just wait till you get to my others. Like I said, the top 3 are literally like just, they might as well be interchangeable in some way, shape, or form. So I struggled through Alan Wake Remastered, but I love Alan Wake 2. It's got, in my opinion, some of the best art direction, best music, obviously, and just very, very well done. I love everything about Alan Wake 2. But like I said, it's only being edged out by 2 others, maybe just by what we can and cannot do in the games. Well, it's hard to explain, but I am in love with Alan Wake 2, and Alan Wake 2 actually inspired me to finish my freaking novel too, because it's all about being a writer. And I think that's another reason why I was very attached to Alan Wake 2. And I don't consider myself an egotistical writer like Alan Wake is, nor am I as successful as he is, but I understood the antagonist.
Yes.
I understood that. So it's just so well done. I wish they came out with a physical and a collector's edition and stuff like that. I'm obsessed with Alan Wake 2, but we'll get to my 1 and 2 soon.
You're not as successful yet.
Oh, thank you, Matt. Oh, thank you. Okay.
Well,
Corey.
My number 3 is Final Fantasy 16. I did manage to play it over break, not all of it, but if I did finish it, it would probably be higher. I think the characters and the combat are great. I don't know if there's anything that hasn't been said already. It makes me really upset that I missed that book club now.
Yeah, you're the guy who's like, oh, I read that it's like a Devil May Cry.
I know it's nothing like Devil May Cry. I don't know what people are talking about. But
don't listen to the internet.
Well, sometimes you gotta form some opinion somewhere.
No, you don't actually. Try what you want to try. It's fine.
Yeah, what we're leaving in 2023 is listening to the fucking internet with games you want to fucking play.
Yeah. Well, after that, I did, because Disney Dreamlight Valley, Game of the Year. I just listened to you guys and didn't put it on my list. I listened to your laughter in my head that doesn't exist.
Bro, I have been nothing but supportive of you in that game.
So yeah, I don't really have anything else to say that hasn't been said. I think it's a wonderful game, and that game is probably a top 3 backlog game for 2024 right now for me. I definitely
awesome.
It's incredible. So
I would love to hear more when you talk about what we've been playing in future episodes too.
We will definitely be talking about it next week for sure. All right, top 2, Matt.
So this is where we get to games I've actually played from this year. Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. This game, while I was hoping for expanded Breath of the Wild, I think they kind of remixed it in a very good way. I think the powers you get here are they serve a better purpose than the powers in Breath of the Wild. What got me here was that this became a game that did the same thing that No Man's Sky did for me when it was released. I just figured I spent my time, I tinkered, I built stuff, I found auto build, and then I perfected a flying machine.
Nice.
And I would literally just take to the skies. And what no one tells you is that those Zonai parts only last so long, and you eventually Icarus yourself back to Earth and die. If you don't have another one just ready. And then when I figured out about the depths, I was like, oh, there's an entire other world for me to fly around, because the depths you think like underground, it's just like tight caves and corridors, but no, it's just as expansive as the overworld. I thought that was fantastic, and that was when I learned I needed to equip my flying machine with an arsenal, because every so often you fly over a Lionel and they're not too happy when you are in their airspace.
No.
So I figured out how to do turrets and lasers and
nice.
And then I instead of going after Koroks, because I found the Koroks more irritating this time. Like, I get the Korok torture TikTok now.
Help me get to my friend.
Like,
he's on the other side of the world.
No, fuck you into the sun. Like, maybe don't be a hoarder. I don't know what to tell you, Korok.
I'll give you some of my poo.
Jesus.
Now we're talking. But I found myself just wanting to, instead of collect the Koroks, I would go collect the what are they called in the depths? The place where the shrine things in the depths. Where
the light route?
Yeah, that's what it is. Light routes. And that was fun. And it was when I was at my most stressed, I could put on my Switch and just put on some avant-garde music or post-rock and just fly around. And it was such a good time. So yeah. And then my companion for I almost called it Breath of the Wild just there. My companion for Tears of the Kingdom is Alan Wake 2. I've been saving Alan Wake 2 for when I actually play the first one again. I want to find a way to play American Nightmare 2 because I love those games back in the day, and I want to do it all again before I play 2.
You can still do that on the Series X, right?
What? Play American Nightmare?
American Nightmare?
Yeah, they're backwards.
Yeah, but I can't convince my wife to let me buy another console.
Well, they're on Steam too, I think.
Matt, sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Not when it comes to money. And you have
no.
This is also maybe why I'm single.
Thank you, Corey.
You're welcome. Pat, what's your number 2?
Boy.
As my wife would say, it's about choices.
Make sure you make the right one.
My choice for number 2 was Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah.
Yep. So what else can we say? Man
Amazing.
boobs.
Mm.
Man boobs.
Gosh.
No,
This is
like
Bob.
everyone else said,
Bob had bitch tits.
Great. The only thing I wish could have been better in that game would have been the side quests, because honestly, those are boring as hell. But the world was absolutely beautiful. The characters, amazing. The battle and combat, like, just, it kept you engaged.
And you're right. I started doing some like in the beginning, I was like, I'm going to do every single side quest that pops up. And after like one where I just like had to go get dirt, I'm like, okay, I'm all set.
Yeah, it could have been better, but anyways, yeah, that was my number 2.
Nice.
All right.
LeRon.
Number 2.
Dose.
Number 2. Armored Core 6, Fires of the Rubicon.
Ooh. Neato.
Now, I've said this before on the podcast.
I'm proud of you, Ron.
I'm a fan of giant robot shenanigans, you know. So yeah. Tell
me more. No.
but I haven't played an Armored Core game since Armored Core 3, and that was a long damn time ago, because like Armored Core games like got few and far between, you know. Like there were some outings on the PSP, which I played one of them on the PSP, and I was like, no, I don't like the control scheme. It was just the PSP just not enough buttons to play that game. Let's put it that way. You know, and I think most handhelds until all these all the super handhelds came out, basically the PC handhelds, like that, you know, thanks to Steam Deck and all that stuff, like, you know, made it possible to play games with, you know, like 16 plus buttons, you know. But Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, like when I saw the trailer of this a few years back, I was like, I knew it was an Armored Core game before they even said Armored Core. Like it had, even though it looked fantastic and like nothing we'd never seen before, you could tell it was Armored Core when you saw it. So I knew that I was going to want to play this game when it came out. I got it on day one, and even though I have not played it and beat it, like this game is fantastic. Like, you know, this isn't your dad's Armored Core. Let's just put it that way. Like, you know, like everything about Armored Core that made Armored Core what it is there. The frame is there, the skeleton is there, but this is a whole new beast by itself, you know. And, you know, and yeah, you want to do like the Gundam shenanigans, do it. You want to do stuff like it's Macross and Robotech, you got it. You want to just do some weird shit, you know, like and still have like this really solid combat system, and you know, like and actually feel like one of the drawbacks of the original Armored Core games, like before 6 came out, is the fact that it seemed like you were really restricted and how you can build out your mech and stuff like that. The restrictions are still there, but it feels like it's unbound because like you can still get your basic concept across and still do what you want to do and have fun. And that's the main thing about it. It's fun. The game is gorgeous. There's actual storyline in it. You know, by the way, thanks everyone for voting that out of best story. You know, thank you. Screw y'all. You know, I don't know. Sci-fi games just don't do it for y'all.
You know, LeRon, they don't know. They don't know.
They don't know.
It's fine. It's fine. We're just out here in our own little bubble, just above everything, all seeing, all knowing, and we know we're right.
Exactly. Like they will never understand the joygasm of when you press start and you see the HUD just kind of like ooze down into the frame, and it's like, oh yes.
The first couple days I had that game, I would start up and see that and be like, oh, I can go to work now.
Remember that game on the Dreamcast Steel Battalion?
Unfortunately, yes.
Xbox.
Oh wait, original Xbox? No.
Yeah,
original Xbox had that damn.
There was a Dreamcast game, and then like one came to Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But like that game, when you bought that game, it came with this array that make you feel like you were piloting a mech and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
It was above its time, and I feel like there are going to be some nerds out there. They're going to build just like how those guys build their rigs for flight simulator,
racing and flight sim
and racing. They're going to build this shit for Armored Core because, like, I'm telling you, this is one of the most immersive mech games that I've ever played.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah.
Like this was one of those ones. I wish Gundam could do a game like this. I don't think they ever will, but I wish they could.
Hey, some of the recent Gundam games have been fucking great though.
Oh no, 100%. But like, it's more of just like I want to put this robot against this one and make them fight. Like that's really it.
Yeah. Ooh, I need to do that. I need to see if I can make them. I need to see if I can make the tall geese in Armored Core 6.
Jeez. Good luck. That'd be cool.
That's my challenge.
That'd be dope.
Wow.
Maybe you can make you can make a pilot as insufferable as Zex Marquise too.
Hey.
Oh God.
I'm sorry. Zex is the most pick me Char in Gundam as far as I'm concerned.
Oh jeez.
We are above Corey's head. He's scared now.
Stephanie, save us. What's your number?
Anime.
Whatever number we're on.
Number 2, Baldur's Gate 3. This was teetering as my number 1, but as I said, who knows how many episodes ago, at this point, again, I'm splitting hairs. I'm very nitpicky about what's 1 and what's not 1, and as much as I love Baldur's Gate 3, because it is my number 2, what differentiated it between my number 1 was because it had a decent amount of glitches for me, and I played on my PS5. I took several screenshots where characters and items are just floating in the middle of the air, and I lost quite a lot of time because things were stuck in an animation or something, and I couldn't get out of it.
Stephanie, pause for a second.
Yes.
Let's take a moment for you listeners out there to acknowledge we finally had a damn console game that didn't play right out of the sea of PC games that always never play right. Okay, rant's over.
Have you heard of Bethesda?
Well, most games don't play right across the board. Let's be honest.
And
yeah, something asterisk.
They barely play on PCs, let alone consoles. Like I still remember the dumb glitch in Fallout New Vegas where you had to wear a cowboy hat for a certain amount of time in this one spot, otherwise your save could no longer be continued.
Oof.
Oh goodness!
I think that's an Obsidian thing too, though. Their games are always glitchy.
But that's the literal that's the literal nitpicky difference because amazing story, amazing character development, the drama between romancing the characters is like just played an emotional toll on me. Asterion is my background on my phone, and my boyfriend saw. He goes, "Oh, who's that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's this 200-year-old high elf vampire spawn that I romance." It's like, what the hell are you talking about? And I'm like, "Oh yeah, when you start talking about romancing fantasy
you just talked
characters,
yourself out of something tonight, sir."
he's just literally like, "You're the biggest fucking dork." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
You say that now, but me and Asterion gonna be fucking. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
There's a vibration function on the
He's
controls
had
for a
200
reason.
years to figure it out. What's your excuse?
Exactly. Yeah, I can. Whew.
Controls
So,
for a reason, everybody.
Stephanie just lost her train of thought.
Hey, hold on. All right, I gotta stay focused, guys. Hold on. I already bought the soundtrack. I purchased the soundtrack to Baldur's Gate 3. Larian did a fantastic job. Kudos to them on literally it. That's just so much freaking stuff in that game. I do plan on doing another replay. That's how much stuff there is.
Nice.
When you got to go back, you got to fuck again, right?
Oh, and now I gotta pick someone else and just try sample a little bit of everything.
Next,
keep on trucking,
you know,
keep on fucking.
Shadowheart just doesn't do it for me. I'm going for Karlach or Gale.
I hear Karlach will burn you though.
It's all good. If gotta play with
Some
fire.
people are into that. We're not here to kink shame.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're not.
Leave you burning as well.
Oh, God.
I am okay being stabbed. You can use fire.
Oh, God. Speaking of fire, my number 2 is Tears of the Kingdom. It was lower on my list until I got sucked back in and played through about 25 shrines over break, and the shrines are impeccable. They are much better than Breath of the Wild's.
Yeah, they're the reason you play that game.
And then the the dungeons are better for the most part, except for the water temple.
Fire temple.
Yeah, the fire temple is
chef's kiss.
I found most of them. I honestly thought most of them were boring, despite it being my number 2 pick. But
the shrines or the dungeons?
The dungeons.
I would say there are 2 good dungeons, 1 okay dungeon, and 1 poor dungeon.
Yeah,
in my opinion. But the shrines are.
The shrines are.
The shrines are incredible. I mean, they make the dungeons look like fucking my son's 24-piece puzzle that he puts together every day and memorized.
Yeah.
Should have done is they should have taken like the puzzles from the shrines and put them in the dungeons.
But that's my number 2. I don't really have much else to say about Tears of the Kingdom. I think the story was incredible also. I thought the story they told was really great. I am sad we're moving away from these versions of Link and Zelda, supposedly, but I'm glad we're moving away from this world because that was my big knock against it. It was like, I've done this for 200 hours already. So also the building mechanics are not my forte.
Sure.
So, all right, Matt, your numero uno.
Numero uno. I'll bet you everybody here could probably guess, or maybe you couldn't.
Bloodborne. Elden Ring.
Yes. Both of them at the same
Lies
time.
of P.
I didn't play that. Although I have been hearing a lot of people talk about that, and the way they talk about Lies of P is the way people talk about Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. And Kenna, Bridge of Spirits is amazing. If you haven't played that, you should. So I'll be playing Lies of P this year. But my number 1 is Remnant 2, or nice. Poor Man's Outriders, as Corey disrespectfully said earlier.
It's not disrespectful.
Dark Souls with guns?
Dark Souls.
So that's...
I would say that's untrue.
I feel it's untrue, but I feel like because that's what got me into the first game. And when I got into the first game and realized it wasn't that, it made me so happy. And then that game, Remnant 1, revealed itself to me in ways that were both tantalizing and just awe-inspiring, and Remnant 2 built on that in the best of ways. It's probably like Remnant 2 could be a very nice example for the roguelike community on how to make a sequel to a roguelike, even though it's not a roguelike. The way it uses procedural generation is leaps and bounds above the first game. The gun combat's better. The weapon designs are just as creative, if not more so. There are a couple clunkers here, just like there were in the first game, but the chances they take and the designs that they made in bosses and worlds are some of the they've continued to be in my thoughts long after I stopped playing the game, and that is a mark of something special for me. One of the things I will talk about real quick is there's the Estus flask in Remnant 2. I guess it's called the Dragon Heart, I think. Trying to find, like, I know you have to find a certain amount for a trophy, but I decided I wanted to find all of them. And there were some that you go to places in the game that it made me so happy that these things were hidden the way that they were. There's one called the Void Heart, where there's a world you're given every time you start up the game. It's called Nerud. If you finish it and like a day or so later just go back to Nerud, Nerud's no longer there. You teleport in and you are just standing in space. And it like you, if any of you have seen the movie The Neverending Story, the original, you're standing in what looks like the opening credit sequence to The Neverending Story with like all the clouds, and it is one of those things. All you see is the red stone that will take you out of there, but off in the distance is a heart relic that you can go get, and it's called the Void Heart. And so you're just standing there in a void with its heart, and you could just. I honestly, there were a couple of times where I just stood there for like an hour just looking at clouds, and I'm like, this is so peaceful. This is so nice. And yeah, it's also one of those games that I think DLC could actually be put the first game in it, and it would be fine, because most of what Remnant is about is traveling across time and space. So a natural extension of that would be going back in time to the first game. And I feel like if they wanted to try and update that would be cool. I would be cool with that. I don't know if the entire community would be, but that game is special. And while it wasn't, the first one was like second on my game of the year list the year it came out, they updated this the right way, and in a way that I rarely see sequels do. And then my companion with it is actually Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 is so intimidating, and I'm scared to try and learn something new that's something that ambitious. But when I do, don't worry, Stephanie, I'll be fucking too.
Yeah. Do it for the fucking.
Yeah, that's why I play games, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Monster hunting, fucking. That's what we do out here.
Just don't post it on Xbox, okay?
Huh?
Just don't post it on Xbox. The fucking.
Yeah. Because they are banning accounts for posting the fucking.
Why?
I don't know.
Gamers can't fuck?
No.
Prudes?
Not on Xbox. I thought it was called the sex box.
Am I right?
They buy all the video games, then you can't have any fun with them.
Yeah,
What
I
the
was
hell?
like, wait a second, like anytime I ask someone, can I play your Xbox? That does the thing. Well, that gets the thing. Yeah.
You know what does the thing for me, guys?
Your number one game.
Fucking.
Exactly. Pikmin 4.
No shit.
Pikmin
Nice.
4
Fucking good for you, man.
surprised the hell out of me. Like, I loved Pikmin 3, but Pikmin 4 does everything perfect to the Pikmin game. It has got charm and character. It is an absolutely gorgeous environment. I love going into the dungeons. I love the new ice Pikmin and just all the combinations of the Pikmin just together. Ochi is best boy for sure. Or actually, Ochi's a girl.
I think it's
Moss is a girl. I know Moss was a girl.
Ochi can
It's a
be
boy,
whatever you
Dougie.
want it to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ochi is best NB. It's fine.
But this game was amazing. Like, it took all the best elements from all the games and just made like the perfect Pikmin game. It was fun, it was relaxing, it made you think a little bit. Like, it could be as easy or as challenging as you want it to be. The game was just absolutely phenomenal.
It's an incredible video game.
I had so much
Amen.
fun with that, and that's like it goes to show to me, it doesn't matter if it's a graphical powerhouse or if it does like everything and everything. The game just lets me actually forget about all my troubles and just allows me to have fun and enjoy it. You know, I am happy, and that's what Pikmin did for me.
It's a feel-good game.
Yep.
It's a great video
game. That was
game.
my game number one.
Well deserved.
Well,
word.
I guess we're moving on to LeRon's number one, and I bet I can 1,000% guess
no
what
one can guess what LeRon's number one is.
Dead Space.
You're welcome to try.
Dead Space.
It's Dead
Is it
Space.
Dead Space.
Come on.
It is Dead
Dead
Space.
Space.
Was it Dead Space?
It is Dead Space.
Is it Dead Space?
Guessed
What?
Dead Space.
What?
Wait, Dead Space?
Dead. Is it Dead Space?
If we're going for my favorite Dead Space in the entire series, it's Dead Space 2. But you know,
Living Clutter.
Dead Space 2 did not come out this past year, though.
It took me a second to get it.
The Dead Space remake, yeah, that's it. Like I, you know what? Just go back and listen to every single podcast, like from Dead Space's release till now, till this episode, and you will hear everything that I have to possibly say about the Dead Space remake. Everything, because it's just a phenomenal game.
But is there fucking?
There's fucking not the fucking you want to have, but there's fucking.
Ooh.
You will be impaled by something.
Yeah.
You know,
a hole that you did not know you had.
Yeah,
you don't know what I'm into, Pat.
Let's just say, like playing Dead Space, you get a whole new appreciation for the term run through.
Jeez.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
Does it look like I have a cat on my shoulder?
Run through
Yes.
limbs.
Yes, it does.
Hi, Zelda.
Yeah, no, for real. Play one of the best games of 2023. That being the Dead Space remake. Everything you knew about Dead Space is thrown out the window because like it fundamentally is the same game, but there's so much interesting and new. They threw stuff in there to throw the veteran players off, but they kept a lot of stuff intact, so like new players could get into it and not have. It's survival horror, like you know, like this. There's a reason why. Like back in 2008, this is the game that got me back into survival horror games because survival horror games were stale as shit by the time we got to when Dead Space 1 original came out. And this game basically it's doing stuff again for survival horror. And kudos to EA Motive Studio. Kudos to them because you guys did a wonderful job. My boy Gunnar Wright, you know, like he did amazing. Like just the fact that this man recorded his dialogue 4 different times for different conditions about what's happening to his character and things in the game was amazing. They even answered some questions that like were left unanswered back in the 2008 edition of Dead Space. So just play it. You'll love it. You'll have fun. Favorite weapon is the contact beam. My favorite weapon, always has been, always will be. And this revamp of the contact beam for this game, it's amazing.
Did you do an all plasma cutter run?
That's the run I'm on right now.
Got it. Yeah, nice.
That's the run I'm on right now. Yeah. Like I had to see what all the weapons look like brand new. So my first playthrough, like I played with tried out every single weapon, saw what they did to the various enemies and stuff like that. Like and that's the thing about it, like you get disqualified for that trophy or that achievement if you fire a weapon one time at an enemy. Then like there's was there 8 different weapons in this game? Yeah, I believe that's right. Yeah. There's 8 different weapons in this game, so you have, and each weapon has an alternate fire mode. So you want to see what it all does. You do, and you want to see what it does to the bad guys when you do it. So yeah, my second run is a dedicated all plasma
cutter
run. Yeah, thank you. I was about to say plasma beam. Yeah, but
contact plasma.
Contact plasma. Whoa, it's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Stephanie, your numero uno.
So this was after much thinking, and I'm sure I will piss off that loud minority, but it is not for this. Anyway, I'm just going to stop.
What Kirby game is your number 1?
No, Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah, that's my number 1.
Interesting.
Hogwarts Legacy is also my number 1.
Yeah, so after having that vacation time and really think about everything, so I'm trying not to have recency bias, thinking about all my experiences and thinking objectively about gameplay. Hogwarts Legacy does have everything like the other top 3 have. Beautiful looking game, one like pleasing to the ears, the soundtrack, the ambiance, the love and the care and the passion put into the game, the fact that the castle at Hogwarts is just so full of intricate details and slightly less buggy. It just checks all the boxes. I will be going back and playing it again. It's just it's full of adventure, fun, just enough freedom, but also has a linear story that I can abide to because I need structure. It just, when I look back and I think fondly of each and every game, I just felt like Hogwarts Legacy is my quintessential type of game, and it was well executed.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So like as over break, I made the list initially, and like I went back through my list of games, like, and just turned the game on for, maybe 30, 45 minutes each, aside from the games that I was just playing, right? And I got to Hogwarts Legacy. I'm like, man, we sure had a great time playing this and talking about it, and the world is here, and like being in the castle is it kind of reminded me of like one of the times that my wife and I bonded over Harry Potter and like binging the entire series, and kind of just there's something magical about that world, no pun intended, like, and you just kind of want to be in that world, and they did a great job of the storytelling of like turning certain expectations on their heads with certain characters, like not just bad guys and good guys, but like characters in specific houses even. And the Goblin Rebellion was an interesting premise for a story. Did they 100% tackle it? Maybe not, but like at the end of the day, it was a game that made me feel good while I was playing it, and I had a smile on my face the entire time, and the trials were challenging yet rewarding, and I just really enjoyed it, and that's why Hogwarts Legacy is my number one. Also, loved it.
I love the spell casting, what they did with it.
Yes, I love that you can cast the what are they called? The
forbidden curses.
Yes, the forbidden curses in the castle, and nobody blinks an eye.
But is there? No, I'm not going to ask that question.
What? What was the question?
You know the question. You know the question.
I don't know the question.
Is there a little bit of
don't be dense. Don't be dense.
Is there fucking? No.
These are teenagers.
Yeah, you play a 15-year-old person of your choice. So maybe, but they definitely don't let you. No. There's definitely no interactive fucking. So you take that with what you will.
You can, however, have animals fuck and make little baby.
Yes,
animals.
You can breed animals. Yes. Animal breeding.
Yes. So
So there's no fucking, but there's pimping.
There's yes. Yeah.
It's GTA now.
Oh,
awesome.
Yes. Yes. GTA Hogsmeade, if you will. God. Okay, we're ending it there. Those are our top games of the year. Went a little long, but that's okay. Matt, thank you for joining us tonight. We missed
Sorry,
you.
Every time I come here, we go long. My bad.
It's fine.
We're just so glad you could join us.
Yeah, like going long.
Yeah. Go hard or go home.
I'm picking up what you're putting down, LeRon. Don't worry.
On that note,
hey, as long as this should not run anywhere as long as Nintendo Power Block 300. I just want y'all to know that.
It's true.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Power Block 300 was so long we had to split it into 2 episodes because the file was too big.
Yeah,
that was a fucking marathon.
It was awesome. Don't worry, 400 is coming up this year.
I'm not watching y'all live. No, y'all don't do live anymore. I'm not. Oh, I have plenty of time to watch that when it drops.
It doesn't matter. We're ending this episode.
I
Matt,
the rest of my life.
Again, thank you for joining us tonight. You know, you have an open seat at the table anytime you are free.
Okay.
We will be back next week with our 2024 Metacritic Draft and maybe a new game that we're playing this year. I want to thank everybody for watching and or listening. Stephanie, Pat, LeRon, thank you for your time as well.
I want to know what the new game is.
And we will, until next time, we love you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Long.
If you want to see how you can become a Patreon producer, head on over to patreon.com/BossRushNetwork. The Patreon producers for this month are Adriel Munger, Celeste Roberts, Christian S., Sana Dirrig, Francisco Santillan, and Todd Oxtra. Thanks for your continued support of the Boss Rush Network and our family of podcasts.